that this person is actually still invested in like the emancipatory needs of Palestinians. This is just not the case. Like, this is an incredibly selfish, incredibly self-centered person.
I mean, it's just insane to say you're
like
projection.
He just Piker
and only use talking points that propagate the genocide. Whatever he said about Hamas sending the hostages is the line from Israel. The official line. It's the official state-sanctioned, U.S. weapons shipment sanctioned line to justify a genocide. Just return the hostages and we'll stop. No, you won't. Of course you won't. That's not true. That's never been true. And they don't want the hostages.
Hamas has literally set conditions of surrender 1,000,000 times. The last round of fucking ceasefire negotiations. This is just like objectively untrue.
It's just misinformation. Like,
okay?
Literally.
You are spreading misinformation at the behest of Israel while simultaneously claiming that you're an ally of Palestinians. I don't understand what this man disagrees with Benjamin Netanyahu or with Israel in general. If he's saying that, like,
he's literally said he wants Benjamin Netanyahu behind bars. He thinks that Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal, which is like literally the most fair thing ever. This is what he wants, but apparently that's not enough for you. What do you disagree on? Does that sound like someone that agrees with Netanyahu? Someone that wants him behind bars and being tried in a court of law for being a war criminal? That's Ethan Klein's opinions, by the way. All right, that he told Hasan personally. So I don't even know why the fuck he's pretending this is anything but that case.
Hamas is doing Israel's propaganda for them since we're trying everything.
Also, yeah, join my Discord server, guys, please.
To stop the killing, and we suggest that Hamas surrender. Are you stupid? That's literally the #1 thing that Israel defenders have been saying since October 9. Hamas has openly stated that they want to, on October 10th, 2023, they said they would release all hostages if Israel doesn't fucking invade the Gaza Strip. Since then, they have put forth more than 40 different proposals where they've...
You're not telling the whole story.
Talked about a hostage swap for both the prisoners of war that Hamas has currently, which are the remaining hostages, or prisoners of war, they're Israeli military, they're IDF people that they have in captivity.
Permanent ceasefire and Israeli withdrawal, #1. #2, okay? What are Hamas's demands? A withdrawal of Israeli forces, a permanent truce, the return of Palestinians, and a prisoner exchange. These are the terms, okay? It's not equal in any way whatsoever, okay? Just FYI, all right? Hamas has hostage and Israel has prisoners. They are not the same thing, exactly, yeah. There's also that distinction. But just keep in mind that if a ceasefire or a truce were to happen, October 7 will happen again. It will, right? October 7 will happen again.
Still, in exchange for Palestinians that are in administrative detention, 10,000 plus Palestinians that are in administrative detention, 2,000 more of them that Israel has actually kidnapped since October 7, specifically so they can use them as a fucking bargaining chip. And Hamas has said 1,000,000 times over that they would disband, that they would allow the Gaza Strip to be controlled by a technocratic committee over and over and over again.
I came in with the intention today to try and avoid talking about people like this. But when we got on
I thought we were doing slop tubers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, specifically, I guess, yeah, he's one of the slop tubers, and we can.
Who?
And I don't know, it's just like, I think before talking about it, just establishing the fact that like there's a focus, a hyperfixation from that community, but also from people that are pro-Palestine on what these people are saying.
Oh no, it's fucking Destiny, guys.
And doing, and what they're not saying and doing.
Wait,
and when they spread propaganda, that should be focused on.
When they are gonna name drop our girl shops, dude, they don't even name drop like Turkey Tom all that much, right?
But it needs to be placed in the bigger context of what's happening rather than just this guy is a fucking Zionist freak that's supporting a genocide. It's like he is, but so is the US government, and so is like a lot of the public, and that's the problem. He is not the problem. His actions are the result of this broader system. But when he says shit, like when he's doing propaganda, like obviously we should talk about it.
But when someone says like I'm a stalwart ally of Palestinians,
that's the big thing, right?
That makes me so mad because it's like, I'm a stalwart ally of Palestinians. I spend every waking moment attacking other pro-Palestine content creators, demanding that they get deplatformed, sue them for fucking ridiculous shit.
Oh, Ethan Klein, okay.
Try to silence them over and over again, spend every waking moment having my sizable audience fucking attack them, no matter where they are, literally spam like fucking media hits that they do and try to get them to be deplatformed or at least like have be blackballed, basically. It's not even working, but it doesn't fucking matter. And then on top of that, I just, say the exact same shit that Benjamin Netanyahu is saying when it comes to, it's actually,
is he talking about himself? Yeah, every accusation is a confession, okay?
Actually Hamas. It's actually Hamas that's responsible for the starvation of Palestinians. Okay, well then what's the difference between you and Benjamin Netanyahu in this regard? You are saying the exact same shit that he's saying.
And it's not like the Hitler drank water argument, right? Where it's like these things you're doing are unrelated and the comparison isn't unrelated. The talking point and the propaganda you are saying is the exact same propaganda that's being used to justify the...
Dude, I fucking love how these people like bringing up how, oh yeah, you guys are using the same talking points. Everyone is like saying the same thing. You got it directly from the top. Meanwhile, like when people like pointed out about them, like when people say, oh yeah, Hasan is talking the same talking points and all of his orbiters are having the same talking points. And then when it came to Destiny's anti-fans, oh, they're having the same talking points. Like they're very lockstep and now they're like pro Hasan as well, right? Oh, now like people are being delusional and people are like imagining things, right? But apparently when it comes to like, again, the proportion of standards here is not even close. Like, for example, they think that Ethan Klein is working with Destiny to bring down Hasan, okay? They think that Ethan Klein, like even at a very early time, okay, maybe they're talking now, who knows, right? But the thing is that like, because I know like Ethan Klein most likely browses r/Destiny, okay? Like even if that is the case, right? They said that Ethan Klein was collaborating with Destiny for months now at this point, right? But yeah, it's wild. Hasan is responsible for Aaron Bushnell setting himself on fire. He's also responsible for the embassy shootings, okay? But yeah.
Genocide. They're not unrelated. And when the...
I'm just saying, by his argument, he is responsible for both. Yeah. Hasan takes talking points directly from Islamist terrorist organizations. Not just that. He probably takes talking points from neo-Nazi commentators.
Propaganda you're using is used in service to attack pro-Palestine advocates, then you're doing exactly what the state of Israel is doing in committing a genocide. You're running cover for it. You're propaganda. You're normalizing it for millions of people on the internet, and that's
Oh yeah, the other thing I was gonna say about Ethan was like he kept promoting the Gaza Holocaust Front, the GHF, over and over again. Again, also fucking invoking my name for some weird goddamn reason. And then as recently as like last week, when everyone was talking about Israel's starvation, he was like, "Well, what about Sudan? Why is nobody talking about Sudan?" He's literally doing Hasbara while simultaneously saying he thinks Israel's committing a genocide sometimes. He says that sometimes.
These guys are so stupid, actually. That's just a very very dumb guy perspective to say not talking about something means that you don't care about the thing that you're talking about. Yeah. That's not a real thing, but I mean, again, it's
it's incredibly stupid.
I hate to be dismissive of the propaganda because it is, but it's like, okay,
it's incredibly stupid propaganda, but unfortunately,
that's not what they're saying. They're saying that you only claim to care about a single issue because your motivated reasoning is anti-America. That's why, right? They're specifically saying they are specifically saying, well, the only thing you care about is being anti-America. You don't actually care about these people, and you don't care about any other atrocities like conducted by, organizations that hate America, right? That's what they're trying to point out. But that's such a bad faith interpretation of what anything Ethan Klein is or any of Hasan's critics are trying to say. You draw the profile picture of your YouTube and Discord yourself. No, we have a very, very talented artist in the community, okay? Someone who does beautiful posts. I'll actually show you.
It does work for some people, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
For example, Like, they make random doodles. Just look at this. I think there's like the infinite rape machine, and there's a turnip. There's like Destiny zapping it. This is the color version of the profile, right? Look at this shit. Look how cool this is. Chat, should I kill Steven? And then there's like, oh, I didn't even notice. There's a little sticker named Dad. Did you pay them in exposure? I guess I do. I literally told them to like make a fucking social media so then I can retweet them. And also I told them that I felt bad that I was getting all this free art. And, you know, they didn't seem to mind all that much, so, you know. Also, look at this. Look how cute this is. This is the whole cast. I think this is Lauren De Laguna, right? This is Pixie as a Pixie. Lauren De Laguna as a Pixie on Pixie's shoulder, or ish there. Pixie as Pixie. Gnome. Dan Saltman. I think that's Queenman. I think this should be Queenman. I don't know why this is Queenman, okay? But this has to be Queenman, okay? This is Jay Stelk, okay, as a fucking jester. All right, this is Cherry. I don't know who this is, okay? I don't know. But yeah, we have several fucking, like, I don't know. I think it's fun. He's literally a fucking circle, because he is oval. All right. Look, he even doodled the if your own gems are. Who? Look at this. This is Destiny and I hang out. Even drew fan art of that. It's so fucking awesome. Look at this shit. Yeah, it's like me being sleepy. And him just going off. It's just like, okay. Yeah, but I used a lot of his art, actually. And then they also draw, like, listen, okay, I'm only gonna show this once. Like, this is some of their more serious, like, line art. Apparently this person was like a more well-known Twitter/Tumblr artist at some point, but then delete their account. This is who they are. But yeah. That's more serious stuff. And now this I say for last, okay? Because this was the Dickers debate. So I think this has to be Queenman, just mainly because Queenman is the one with the puppeteer, unless and I can't really think of anyone else, I guess. But this is Dickers saying, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't associate with these people, and he's being puppeted by Jay Stoke, Queenman, and Jerry, okay? And then I'm just here fucking crashing out, okay? It's beautiful. Look at this shit. I have fan art of debates I have. That's so fucking awesome. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. Also Haley B. Oh, okay. Gems are Haley B. Okay, yeah. Like, yeah, I have, dude, fan art of debates I have is fucking awesome. It's just so fucking awesome. I don't know. That's what I love about being a content creator. Free art, stuff you don't have to pay for. No, like, it's just so fucking awesome that, you know, I have cool people in my community, you know? Oh, Kingler, W. Kingler. Hello, Kingler. Hi. Oh, thank you. Based. Yeah, it's so fucking cool. You know, like, gosh. This is, again, when I say that I love this community, I think it's the best fucking community ever. I really do mean it, and that's part of the reason why. Okay, fuck. Yeah.
It's so goddamn frustrating because people, I think, just want to feel that their favorite content creator is not like a bad person. And there is nothing more bad person coded than to defend Israel's ongoing genocide. Okay?
I gotta get my maid outfit. We're redoing the podcast we did.
And he uses like this Palestinian ancestry to grift as like a pro-Israel Palestinian. Post October 7th, he like monetized his Twitter account and started like grifting as like, I'm a Palestinian, but I'm pro-Israel. And like, you know, this got him opportunities that he otherwise never would have gotten, like writing op-eds and stuff in the Atlantic and stuff like that. You know, the generic like or sort of grift the collaborator grift, where someone weaponizes trace amounts of ancestry. You know, it's like if there was a conflict between Turkey and Greece, and I started saying, like, I have Greek ancestry. Here's why Turkey should genocide all the Greeks. You know, it's kind of like that. So if you want, like, more context on this guy that I'm not going to be able to give you here,
Dude, I love how, like, he's just, like, playing bad. It's now a regular segment, no? Like, before, it was, like, just very, like, oh, you're not sure whether or not he's gonna do this, but now it's a completely regular thing to play, like, bad empanada on, like, Hasan's streams. Like, it's actually so fucking scary, right? Again, bad empanada wants someone to kill Willie Mack and his wife. This is someone who exposed that piece of information. Why? Because he unironically wants them to fucking die, okay? Death. All right, that's what's implied when he posts the location and the time of that, like, fucking thing. This is someone who basically ordered a hit on Willie Mack and his wife, right? That's fucking unhinged. And now it's just so fucking unhinged that, like, Hasan is giving, like, bad empanadas so much, like, fucking free press. It's unhinged.
Here, because it's just a short clip covering something that happened with him recently. I have a debate with him on my main channel where I totally exposed him as being just a pro-Israel shill. And then I also cover him in this video, the token Palestinian industry, about 11 to 12 minutes in. So check those out. So John has recently been noticing that the tide is now turning against like Zionism and pro-Israel shills like himself. And I think he
Crazy how fast Hasan's standards for Hui platforms went out the window when BE started shitting on Destiny and Ethan. Yes, exactly, right? Those who say that they have principles have the least. Doxing possibly the most important day in a couple's life is fucked up. Yeah, typically the most happiest day of a couple's life, right? The only day of happiness you'll ever have in your entire life, right? Trying to fuck that up is, like, fucked up, okay? Obviously, right? Yeah.
Is realizing that he's not going to be able to keep up like this grift forever, right? You can't, like, trade off you being the token Palestinian for an Israeli genocide at this, you know, at this point.
Oh, and I can promise you that Hasan was 100% in the know for like Vad Empanada, like, doing something like that, because that is such a big event. That is such a big event that there's no shot that Hasan didn't know about that, okay? So the fact that he doesn't even condemn Bad Empanada and instead, like, promotes Bad Empanada when it comes to this, I think that is endorsement of, like, a hit job, right? I unironically think that Hasan, like, fully endorses, right? Like someone who puts out a hit job. Yeah, it's unhinged, obviously, right? What's next? Doxing the firstborn? I mean, Bad Empanada no longer has any limits, right? He doesn't. So,
like, this is the offloading point where a lot of these grifters are going to, like, realize that this is not a sustainable long-term career path, and they're going to have to transition into, like, broader things or try to make themselves like viable in a broader sense. And one of the ways that they
for them, it's for the Yemeni guy. That's another guy who, like, hates me, because all of these guys, like, they're so clearly invested in, like, preaching to a Western audience that Luai Ahmed, that they, like, focus their energy on someone like myself. Why would they do that? If you are a guy who
is the tide actually turning against Zionism? I feel like it's the opposite, and that more people are waking up to Hamas's heinous behavior. Maybe I'm media biased. Hard to say. I wouldn't say anything. I probably wouldn't. I mean, I think people are starting to know. I think it's mainly streamers like Asmongold and Tectone who have far larger audiences than either Destiny or Hasan, who talk about how annoying pro-Palestinians are. I think that's what's going on, right? Does that make sense? Because they talk about all the time how annoying, like, these people are. So then people get the idea in their head, and, you know.
Of Yemeni background or of
War shall enter the fray.
It's good to shit on me. Thank you.
Palestinian background,
I
and
think that's
Israel
what's
is, like,
going on.
slaughtering your family.
So ironically enough, obviously we all have a part to play. Like, Destiny and Hasan no doubt has influenced the rhetoric at this point overall. But the thing is that I think the people who influence rhetoric the most are the largest people, and the largest people is Asmongold, right? Yeah.
Family members, like, you should never even for a moment think about like pro-Palestinian college campus.
Oh, Asmongold, train wrecks, XQC, right? Again, they have audiences that are much, much larger than Hasan's or Destiny's, but they talk about the issue, right?
Activists or pro-Palestinian content creators, right? The only reason why you would care about that is if your role here is a unique one where you are supposed to talk specifically, like directly to white liberals and white conservatives in America that care about that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like see this guy from Yemen loves Israel, so
yeah,
that you just got owned.
So
like, that's crazy.
So what I saw with like that Luai Ahmed guy, basically, because like they're now that this situation is undeniable by even more people, they're moving into like the right-wing content grift, and I think that's probably what these guys are going to do. But we'll get into it after we watch this.
We'll be trying to do that is by disowning what they have previously said about the Gaza genocide and being like, oh, I didn't see this coming. What's happening here? What? It's a genocide? They're starving them? Oh, damn, I was fooled. Crap. And now they might try to like rebrand as like enlightened centrist grifters or like even maybe pro-Palestinian grifters in the future because they want to keep the money flowing in from their Twitter monetization. They want to keep getting like op-ed opportunities in major media outlets.
One
And
talk about is like, it's one thing for someone to realize they were wrong and then actively work towards helping alleviate the problem, which is a genocide. It's another thing entirely to use this as a way to boost a media career. And I think with a lot of these people that are going to change their mind and try to reposition, we got to remember, we got to keep a very close record of what they said while it was happening and not let them do that. They'll try, but there should be a continuous effort to say, no. On October 10th, you started justifying what Israel is doing. You started weaponizing your identity to run cover for Israel and blame everything Israel's doing on Hamas, which is exactly what Israel is doing.
Or college protesters.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what you were focused on during this.
I think the only way that these grifters
Hey, if we just hope you're well. Hey, Alex.
can ever do something that is redeemable.
Technically, Jizz Tickler is the largest. Jew Tickler is definitely not the largest. I think he has at least 2 viewers, though, I think.
Is if they detail and identify exactly how they were paid.
Yes.
Didn't they say if you change your position, they would not hold it against you at this point?
And basically out this entire pervasive influence network and work as a whistleblower.
Oh, I'm stealing.
Like that is the maximum impact that you could have. If you are one of these people and you've gotten your bread buttered all along, the only way that you can fucking change the tide, the only way that you can salvage what remains of your morality is to basically fucking snitch on all of the people that have been like, hey, this is a good article to write. Okay, here's some money for you.
It's like breaking the silence, right? With someone like Gila Klein. She served in the IDF. She could be talking about what happened, talking about the raid she went on in specific detail where they kidnapped a Palestinian man from his home in the occupied West Bank. She could talk about that and talk about how it's wrong. That's what she would do if she hasn't even said this, but if Ethan and her were actually pro-Palestine, they would try to use that position. But until that point, oh, you're just a terrorist.
I hate how these two, like, they are talking as if they know how to best advocate for an issue or best argue an issue when all these two, we have two fucking perpetual losers, okay? Let's just, listen, I'm just being real here, okay? These two are chronic losers, okay? They do losing at debates, losing at everything, losing in popular support. The entire internet is against them. Ethan Klein has turned against them. They're alone. They barely have any exposure. Even having a YouTube doesn't help them all that much, right? The thing is that, like, at the end of the day, all right, these two losers, okay, who have lost in literally everything, are telling Ethan Klein, someone who is a CEO of his own business, and Gila Klein, someone who is also a big boss of her own business, who know what messaging and advertising means and know how to appeal to people, and is telling other people and others, incredibly successful people, how to, you know, make their arguments and stuff. Little bro, you are not him, okay? Little bro, you are not him. Like straight up, okay, straight up, you're not him. Like it's actually like the hubris is insane to me. Okay, like personally, okay, like it's unhinged. They wrote one book on Palestine. No, you think they read? Hello, you think they read? Yeah, Jesus. They probably circle jerk on some like private discourse server, like making fun of Destiny all day. That's probably what they do. Jesus.
You're an actual terrorist. Like by her husband's own logic, she's a terrorist that has never repented and done anything, not even in a vindictive way, but in a like, you have sway over people's opinions. And if you come out and say, this is what happened, this is how it's happening still to this day, and this is how it, relates to the Gaza genocide, that would be a good thing. But that's the only way. That's the only way.
Yeah. The thing is, like, people will be like, oh, well, you knew Ethan had lived in Israel. Like, that's what people say to me sometimes, right? Like,
yeah.
Or even Ethan himself has actually, I think, brought this up to be like, Hasan knew I lived in Israel, or, knew that he served in the IDF or whatever. Yeah. I never have this automatic assumption that someone that's like now living in America is going to be like super pro fucking Israel. That's not my assumption at all. I meet plenty of people like, yeah, sorry, I'm not fucking the anti-Semite that you want me to be.
Yeah.
It's so strange, especially because like I always thought that he was like,
bro, I literally thought that Destiny somehow like fucking played the Hasan laugh clip when Hasan did that, because I feel like I can't get it out of my head now. I feel like now whenever like that happens, I can't help but think about like the fucking Destiny like laughing clip, dude. Like fucking hell, the fucking soundboard is driving me up the wall, dude. I swear to God. Noah's advice to the clients is to publicly self-flagellate and repent. Yeah. Pretty much
right at the edge of liberal Zionism and could have been someone who could be convinced.
Yeah.
Because of like his past statements about like what Israel was doing and stuff like that.
There was that moment like in the podcast, like right after October 7th, where he was like crying about seeing a footage of a dad holding his daughter that had been killed by Israel. Yeah. And that didn't stick, obviously. But
no.
Do you see Rao's new thumbnail? Guys, ridiculous. Okay. Wait, hold on. Real quick announcement. Because you brought it up. I'm burning my bridge with Rao, okay? I haven't said anything to him in DMs yet or anything like that, but I'm just gonna announce it here. I don't think I want to associate myself with Rao anymore, okay? I realize that like any kind of bridge I have with like Destiny anti-fans is just not going to last based off of what I believe, right? Just mainly because like if I do unironically believe and argue for like this entire rhetoric with like, oh yeah, well, I believe that some people should be doxxed and some people you can justify doxing, with that kind of stuff. I just don't think that belief is compatible with the bridge with Rao. I just don't think so. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't think so. Yeah, because the thing is that like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like the factions online that we fight for is just completely so different. Like, fuck. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's what I think. Okay. Yeah.
There were signs that showed that potentially someone could be like rehabilitated or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
I thought that he like.
Also, not only that, okay, there's an additional reason, okay? So basically on a previous thumbnail, his editor called me a pedo. I asked Mao to remove it, and I don't know if he got his editor to remove it, but basically, yeah, I'm not sure if he did that, but it doesn't really matter, right? The thing is that like, it seems like his editor seems to have made a new fucking thumbnail calling me, and then in the title, calling me a PDF again, when I specifically told Mao that I'm not okay with it, and he basically like acknowledged it. So like, yeah, I think at this point, yeah, I think that's a dick move. And honestly, at this point, it is like, it does warrant a bridge burn, in my opinion, okay? So yeah, like it's these two reasons, in my opinion. It's these two reasons, okay? Yeah.
Recognize the humanity of Palestinians in that moment. And maybe he did genuinely recognize the humanity of the Palestinians in that moment and just forgot about it. I don't know. But once again, people going, he had a whole N-word compilation. Come on now. Guys, this is not about like being right all along.
Slop brain.
That's okay? You're doing that
internet
thing.
Brain.
We're not talking about that. I know. I knew that he had said fucking horrible shit in the past. I thought that because I have this idea that like people have the capacity to change and people can genuinely
it's like
become
how you talk to the Nelk boys, right?
Become better versions
Like,
of themselves.
You are willing to have a conversation with
Yes.
someone. When you talk to the Nelk boys about their interview with Netanyahu, that was a genuinely very good thing. And you could tell that they were receptive, at least to some extent, of what you were saying about how they platformed a war criminal and let him do propaganda.
I do think that like aggressive negative backlash also helps though, because I think that was probably more helpful in getting the Nelk boys to like change trajectory.
Absolutely.
And have like the Boss and Music podcast on.
Yeah.
So
even it's different in some ways, but just your approach generally.
Dude, I think prior to the Benjamin Netanyahu interview, the Nelk boys have done less pro-Israel propaganda than Ethan, with the exception of like literally going to Israel and doing a pro-Israel propaganda before October 7th.
100%.
Like that's the difference. Like this man has spent every waking moment shitting on pro-Palestinian voices and constantly fucking repackaging like the same kind of propaganda that Benjamin Netanyahu ironically deployed on the Nelk Boys podcast. That's the difference here. It's the same principle behind like Bernie Sanders. It's
Like, let's be honest, okay? Like, the real reason why, like, he has an issue with the Nelk Boys is because he is incredibly jealous, right? He's incredibly jealous that, that Netanyahu didn't come onto Hasan first, right? That is where the jealousy is coming from. But yeah.
Pointing, and it definitely caused me to see him in a different light, that he like still holds on to this liberal Zionist position this far in, when and this is a conversation I had with Noah Culwin before on the broadcast, where he is like an incredibly prominent, the most beloved Jewish political figure in America, and who has never shied away from demonstrating radical politics and saying the truth. For him to, at this stage, still consistently, not Chuck Schumer, I said beloved.
God, look at this fucking soy loser. God, just look at him. Like, how do you even like this guy? God, he just looks so fucking... He just looks so fucking unlikable, isn't he? Jesus.
Chatter. What are you talking about? I'm saying like a popular politician who has run for the presidency and has openly floated the idea of like denying weapons transfers to Israel in 2016. That was a radical proposition in 2016 for many Americans. And the fact that a Jewish man was saying that was huge for many Americans. And in this time and place, like Bernie should not be still promoting liberal Zionism and liberal Zionist talking points, saying Israel is a right
genocide.
Israel has.
This is the same person who called himself a Bernie bro on NPR, okay? Just so you know, okay? He doesn't recognize, like, he's just completely bad faith and just, no. He's this. Very cringe, right?
The right to defend itself. Hamas started this on October 7th. These are ahistorical and also just incorrect interpretations of this conflict. And
he is unfortunately doing this like weird form of genocide denial where he says it doesn't matter what we call it, it's bad. It's like, well.
But the point I was trying to make with Bernie is that like Bernie doesn't get in the way of other people who are past him on this issue. Okay. He doesn't shy away from endorsing candidates and politicians like Zohran or even Abdul al-Sayed in Michigan.
So we have two chronic losers who endorses and talks about Bernie, another person who is known for losing, for chronically losing. You can't make this up. Why don't people just like listen to winners? Even listening to Donald Trump is better than listening to the slop. Jesus.
Michigan, who are anti-Zionist, right? He does not shy away from that at all. Whereas someone like Ethan Klein straight up will, similar to Brad Lander, exactly. Brad Lander is another good example of this as well. Brad Lander has done even more than that, right? But having said that, there are other people out there who are doing propaganda for Israel and...
Oh God, how long is this? I don't think I can watch all of this. Dude, I am fucking dying. I can't do this anymore. Jesus. Oh my God. Fuck. Hyperventilating. Okay, chill stream tonight, guys. Again, I just want to reiterate, I'm burning my bridge with now. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I just DM Rao. There you go. I just told him we're burning bridges. Smell your hand again? Smells good. You see J-Cell copying and making fun of Ice Poseidon for his enemy banging his girlfriend? What? Oh. Oxbox. Lav-Baned Gruner or whatever. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know why that shit is fuck. I don't know. It's just fucking autistic, retarded shit. Okay.